Alright, I'm about to get into the painting. I gotta clean my nails out though, because you know what? Like, I think I'm on like day 3 or day 4, probably day 3 of stopping biting my nails. But that also means that I'm inevitably gonna have stuff under my nails. But I was doing so good. I was doing so good not biting my nails, and then like something stressful happened, and I just got right back on the bandwagon of like I honestly thought I was cured. Like I thought I was completely done biting my nails. Um, but you know how it is. But we're like on like day 3 now, dude. So I'm excited to not bite my nails. This is like dried paint from yesterday, and we're using Liquitex Heavy Body. Yeah, so the goal is just to keep them at a length where it, like I don't look like I've driven myself insane biting them. And I think a little bit longer than they are now would be fine. I have one more color that I can't seem to find. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it. Actually, 2 more. We have another one. I don't know where I had a burnt umber, but I don't know where it went. I'll try to find it real quick. I had a burnt umber that I'm looking for. Okay, I guess it's not here. Maybe, you know what? No, I have it. It's right here. Found it. Okay, I found it. I thought I lost it. This is our last color to work with, I guess. Okay. So this is the progress we made yesterday. Kind of a lot, kind of a little bit of progress. I think today I want to work on the this little bit of it, and then also mostly just like the back of the head area, because I don't expect to get too far into this today. But let's see, I need a reference for... I need a reference, let's see. I'm just gonna look for a horse sculpture, just so I can see the lighting on the body. I might have a reference. The only thing that like I need a reference I think for right now is that the fact that like the horse pectorals, or I don't know if they still call them pectorals on horses, but like this area is actually kind of complicated. Oh, I don't even know. Oh, I forgot. I have this, so this is kind of like a model, but this is not going to give us a realistic idea of what's going on with these muscles. All right, let's see if I can't find something. That looks okay. I could look up horse. What's it called when you like, I guess, horse anatomy? I'm gonna look up skinned horse, but that I don't think I want to see that. Horse anatomy. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, yeah, like that. I think that should be good. Okay, I'm gonna put in just some dark values real quick. Gonna mix. Oops, wrong blue. Just mix that, and then okay. So it kind of comes like this. There's a big crease here. I don't know if I should narrate my whole way through this, but all right, there's like a big crease where the body meets the leg. And then under here is like that. Okay, let's look. So there's gonna be like most of this leg should probably be like relatively close to the same value. We're not gonna have like a lot of there's not gonna be a lot of like high contrast parts because the leg is kind of in shadow anyways. Or like semi-shadow, I guess, like not in occluded shadow, but just like a vague shadow where there's like bounce light but there's not direct light. So I'm just gonna take that all the way down to the leg. We got to work out something with this back leg as well. Let's just go down, and then it'll be dark at the bottom though. Oh, that's too much. There's like a knuckle here. We're gonna have to recut this leg there. Okay. There's a lot of like knuckles. I feel like horses have a lot of like knuckly kind of bits. They have knuckles in their knees, knuckles in their the back of their legs or whatever. These little knuckles right here, the wrist. I guess humans do too, but horses just have weird looking ones. Weird looking knuckles. Probably should wait for some of this to dry. Okay, that's kind of getting a little out of control a bit. So I'm gonna, what am I gonna do? Let's see. Probably should kind of work with like thicker paint now. Some of this stuff is kind of getting a little too wet, I think, to be like really helpful. Okay, I'm gonna decide on a color for the grass real quick. I like it being like really bright green. Actually, yeah, I think that's the way to go. I like it being really bright green. We could go like a really dull brown green, which I've done in another painting, but I don't think it keeps up with like the whole like color palette and the whole theme kind of. Okay, that's not the right color. I think I used cadmium yellow. I just mixed with an Indian yellow and it gave me a really muddy color. Yeah, that was it. Okay, let's try a cadmium yellow. See if that works any better. Let's see. Yeah, that's much better. I think Indian yellow is good for like skin tones and like really natural looking things that need yellow. But if you want like a really like cartoon kind of bright yellow, I think cadmium yellow is nice. I think this is just a cadmium hue. I don't think it's actually cadmium. All right, let's see how this looks. Ooh, that's way too much. Okay, let's take it back as that. Still really bright. We'll see it. Let's add more white, actually. Let's add more white. So I think the goal of what I want to do is kind of make this back part kind of pale and then add in like details. And then make this layer a little darker and add in details on top of that. And then come to the foreground and make that darker still and then add details to that too. I think that'll give us a good like depth effect. Okay. Make sure that's not. It's a little bit tilted up. Let's add more here. You know, I was thinking about going to a farmer's market tomorrow and seeing if I can't find some eggs. You know, I just watched the video today. I think I'd seen it before, but today it was especially kind of sad. Of these little baby chickens that they just tossed into they just like put them in a grinder. They just like ground up all these little baby chickens. So I don't know if I want to. I don't know. I think my days of well, the thing is, I actually do like really. I eat eggs pretty often. So I don't know if I'll be ready to just toss those up. I think this might be too bright. Let me back up a tad. I think this green might be too bright. It's not going to be the whole thing, but I think even for the background, I think it just looks like too much. Maybe we need to add some more ultramarine and kind of like warm the value up a bit. Maybe a little more. That should be okay. It kind of looks exact same, but it's kind of graying out a bit, which I think is good. So I'll put that in the background. I'll even kind of intrude in here. Oops. I'll kind of go in here. Okay. Yeah, I didn't finish that thought about the chickens. I saw a video of them because I don't know if this is still how things go. I'd imagine it probably is, but because the egg industry, right? The egg people, the farmers that make eggs and sell eggs. I guess more so the big farmers. But because they only need female chickens, they take all the little male chickens, like the day after they're born, unfortunately, and these little chickens get tossed into a big metal vat that just like spins with a blade. It was crazy. It was a crazy video. It's a crazy video. So that's why I wanted to see if I can go to a farmer's market tomorrow. I don't know if it'll be any better. I'm sure they have some weird stuff they do too. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a hassle. I think it'll be worth it if I do this. Maybe just like a little scrub, like a little like what's it called? A little bit of scumbling, rather than actually putting blades of grass down. Then as you get closer, we can actually put down little blades of grass. It's kind of like a silly effect, but I actually like how it ends up looking when I do this. Cause I did it on another painting that I've done, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So I'm gonna just add in these little grass blades. Let's see. So I'm gonna add like a dark layer of grass blades, and I'll probably add in a lighter layer as well. I think I need a smaller brush, especially when I start getting. I'm gonna go back over this. I think it'll benefit from another couple passes. But this pass isn't terrible. Thanks to you guys that are watching. If you could leave a like for sure, that's helpful. I don't really have much to say today. I don't know why. I don't have a whole lot on my mind right now, which I guess is good, probably. Honestly, that's probably the best sign. That's probably a great sign for me. I don't have a lot to complain about. All right, let's put in some of the lighter blades of grass. I want to be more precise though. I think I need to, so this is like, what does it say? I never pay attention to brush sizes. This is just says liner. This is like a cheap brush anyways. I think it just says liner. So you have that brush, which is pretty thin. I think I need, you know what, it's not so much the brush, because the brush is like really thin. It's that I need to use like, better mixed paint. I need to mix the paint a little better. That's what I need to do. But I'm gonna use just this small brush anyways, for the sake of it. All right, let's mix a lighter dull green, but not super light that it like really stands out, just light enough to be noticeable. So I'm gonna mix the paint a little smoother this time. Let's see what this does. Let's see. See, I don't have a lot of this color. I should have mixed more. Let's see. You can't even see that. Maybe that's a good thing though. Well, let's see for a second. You can't really see it, but I mean, I think that's not bad. I really want a really thin brush though to do some of this stuff back here. There we go. You know what? This is actually a helpful layer. I thought it was kind of stupid to do this color, but it actually is kind of helping. If anything, it's like getting rid of some of that blocky, like some of the other blockier strokes, just kind of smudging them down. So I'm gonna keep up with this. I want to show you guys how it turns out. I'm gonna grab a painting really quick. Give me a second. A good example of how the grass stroke should turn out if I am patient with it. Okay, let me grab a painting. So I think this is a decent example. Well, this one actually looks a little bit like a little much, but this one I think is kind of cool. I think that's pretty okay. That's pretty convincing for grass. And then one more, let's see. Then on this one, I did the same thing. I think this is kind of the idea. To have them be like less visible in the back and then like kind of more stark and like visible in the front. I think so. That's what I'm gonna try and do. Let's keep at it. Let's keep at it. I think a lot of it is how I mix the paint with the brush. I probably should stop doing that. And get like a, I would say a palette knife, but I guess just use a different brush. Cause I'm not mixing up heaping quantities. So actually, let's try that. I'm gonna mix up the paint with the brush and then try a different brush. And then use a different brush to paint with. So let's see. All right, we mix with this brush. Then we're gonna use a different brush to paint with. Let's see. I think this should relatively work. Yeah, it works some. Definitely gonna have to change this edge. I think what I might do is actually adjust that now rather than later. Let's see. I'm gonna actually mix up. I'm gonna redo this right here, or not redo it, but do the next step of it, because this edge is kind of stressing me out. Oh, hi Kathleen. Okay, how did I mix that light green color? For the most part, I just use like a cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, and then a white for the most part. So cad yellow, ultramarine blue, and then a lot of white to gray it out. But you can mix green all kinds of ways. Green is one. Green is a color that I think is like really, it's like really influential, but you can also do it a lot of different ways. The same thing with gray. I think gray is one of those colors. Green is one of those colors. Purple is one of those colors. That, like, depending on how you do it, it turns out all different kinds of ways. Especially purple too. Especially purple. I don't know if you guys like. I don't know what your palette looks like. But depending on like what kind of blues and what kind of reds you use, purples can turn out all different kinds of ways. I usually carry a purple because the colors I have don't really make a really strong purple. But yeah, purple is one of those colors that can turn out all different kinds of ways. Green as well. I used to only carry, mostly for like when I painted outside. I used to only carry, as far as like making greens, I used to carry like an actual green, which would be like sap green or something, and then an ultramarine blue and a yellow ochre. An ultramarine blue, like, ultramarine blue is kind of, I feel like it dulls everything out, at least for different like mixing. It doesn't make a super strong purple with the reds I had, and it also doesn't make a very strong green with yellow ochre. But I still use it a lot. That's like still what I use. Hey, what's up, Blue? It's good to see you. But yeah, I think purple is going to be like a regular addition to my palette for plein air painting now. I used to really kind of be not against it. I used to be kind of against like any tertiary color. Like carrying is kind of, I thought it was kind of stupid. Well, I guess purple's secondary, right? No, purple's tertiary. Wait, is purple? Hold on. No, purple's secondary, right? I think purple's a secondary color, if I'm not mistaken. But I used to think carrying any of those kind of colors is pretty dumb. But purple has been catching on to me lately. I've been in the mood for purple. I'm pretty sure purple's secondary. I think, yeah, secondary is orange, purple, and green, right? And then teal is a tertiary. Peach is a tertiary. Any of those kind of colors. I definitely don't carry any of those kind of colors, like teal or like burgundy. Yeah, I'm just not really a huge. I just don't really see a need for them. I'm sure I will eventually. I'm sure once my mind kind of wises up, once I get more years under my belt, I'll see a reason for them. But at the moment, I don't. The same thing with for the longest time, there was 2 videos that I wanted to do so bad just for the sake of it. One of them was like a sketchbook tour of like someone else's sketchbook from a long time ago. I really want to do a video like that. And then also I wanted to do like a plein air painting, but with metallic watercolors. And metallic paints I've just never gotten. Well, I did used to use them, but I haven't really been into them. But yeah, those are 2 videos I wanted to do. I still might, who knows. Alright, let's attack this leg again. Let's go back at this leg. Blue, how could you? How could you say such a thing, Blue? Actually, I haven't touched Cobalt Teal. I do have one. I have a Cobalt Teal. I don't know where it is. I think it's in my garage. But I do have Cobalt Teal. I just don't use it. It's that far gone on me that it's in my garage sitting. Blue, how about peach? Would you use like a peach colored or like a flesh tone paint? At that point, I don't even know what we're doing. Like if we're using flesh tone paint. I haven't yet stooped to that level. Just jokes, but still, I don't really use like stuff like that. I do have a fluorescent orange that I like, but I've only used it for like very specific niche little things. I think I want to give this horse dark hooves. Behoove the dark hooves. Does that make any sense? Do horses even have dark hooves? I'm just gonna make it up. It doesn't matter if they have it or not. We're just gonna make it up. Ooh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not very dexterous, or what's the word? What is the word? I'm not very eclectic when it comes to using blues. Like I kind of stick with one. I stick with ultramarine, and sometimes cerulean if I need it, but for the most part, ultramarine is my go-to every day of the week. I actually don't like this dark hoof. You know, let's see. Let's see how it goes real quick. I just like carrying two of everything. That's my like classic Noah's Ark style. I like carrying two of everything. I like carrying two blues, two reds, two yellows, a black and a white. What else? Two browns. That's about it. That's about it though. But I like carrying two of everything. And a purple sometimes. Let me actually show you. Do I have my palette? I do. Oh, ultramarine is, dude. Ultramarine is like my go-to. Like by the order of what I use most, probably be ultramarine. What else? Well, white is obviously the first. Like I use that the most. Ultramarine, probably white, yellow ochre, probably these three, and then maybe burnt sienna gets replaced a lot. So probably these three: yellow ochre, ultramarine blue, white, and burnt sienna are my go-tos. And then sometimes I'll like, but the purple I've been really liking lately. Cerulean is nice too. Cerulean is really nice. This is my cerulean. It's kind of white from the other paint. But yeah, cerulean is beautiful as well. I've never really been a huge... I've only ever touched it a few times, I feel like. But cobalt blue... I think cobalt blue is pretty. And I think it's really opaque a lot of the times. Like, regardless of the brand you get. But I just have not... Something about it just... Like, it's... For me, it's kind of unnecessary. Because I already have... I already have yellow... I already have ultramarine and I have cerulean. And cobalt's like kind of in the middle of those two, I think. So I just never really get to use... I just never like have a need for that color. But it is pretty. And I think if I had started out with that color, I'd probably stick with it. But I just don't have like a real need for it because I have cerulean and ultramarine. So if I want like the more teal-y side of cobalt, I'll just use cerulean. Or if I want the more like warm side of cobalt, I'll just use ultramarine. So yeah, I just have no need for it really at the moment. Oh, we gotta fix this leg. It's too like thick. Cobalt blue is pretty. Cobalt blue is pretty. But it's not pretty enough to keep my palette, I'll say that. It's not pretty enough to like consistently use it. I think it can be really convincing for skies as well. Yeah, I think that it is pretty good for like skies and stuff like that. All right, how does this leg connect? Let's see. I think I messed up the horse anatomy a bit. Because this doesn't make any sense. How do we connect this leg? All right, I think he has like a little fat back here, you know what I mean? Like a little bit of... a little bit of horse fat back here. And then there's this muscle. Hooves can be striped black and white. I know. I know, but where does the knee go? Where does the knee go? I think if we bring it out more like this. His knee is somewhere in here. Like this is his knee, right? And let me just gonna wash in a green real quick. Not even like a real purposeful green, but just something to cover that up real quick. Let's see. Just cover this up. Does that make sense now? Does this make any sense? Let's see. Now the hoofs looks too big. Everything is so, yeah, horses are really not my forte. They are, but they're not. I like looking at them, and I like, okay, let's see. Is this leg, let's see what's wrong with this. I think it actually looks okay. I think a lot of the issue, though, is how thin the ankle comes in. We need to take that out a bit. And then where do you say bump out more? Like the knee knuckle? Let's see. I'm just gonna take a... Yeah, shout out to all the horse girls that used to draw horses in like 5th grade, because it's harder than it looks. Much respect for the horse girls. All right, let's see. I think this needs to come more like here, boom. And then we need, well, this is just an outline. I think this should help us though. This outline should help us. Why don't they be kind of like locked? Did you guys know? Let's see, hold on. I'm about to bust an amazing fact on you guys. I'm gonna give you guys an amazing, crazy fact. Did you guys know that horses can like stand up for like almost forever? Isn't that ridiculous? I just want to get the shape right real quick, and then we can worry about the color and value later. Yeah, do you guys know horses can like stand up forever? I think it's called what is it? I forgot what it's called, but they have like a locking mechanism. Like they have like a thing that like locks their leg this way, so they don't have to like. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Hold on. Thanks, Crimson. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Just straight out. Can horses horse leg locking mechanism? It's already in my search history. A locking stifle, or no, it's called the stay apparatus. That's what it's called. It's called the stay apparatus. I could show you guys. Well, I don't know if I want to do that, but there's a video of a guy that somehow has a horse leg like just by itself, and he shows how the mechanism works. Like he's like a doctor or something, but he shows how the leg like locks. It's a really cool like just anatomically. Is that the word? Anatomically, it's a really interesting. I have to show you guys the video, but I don't want to scar you guys. Should I show it? Maybe. Hold on. Should I show it? I might just show it to you guys. Should I show it to you guys? I'm gonna show it to you guys. I think this is so cool. If you don't like bones and animal legs and stuff like that, then click away for a second. But all right, this is a horse leg, right? And he's like pushing down. I think he's pushing down on it already. And it's like staying. It's like stuck. Oh no, there it is. Hold on, it goes. I forgot how it works, but it's really cool. Maybe we should not stay on this for too long. I don't want to scar you guys. But yeah, apparently horses can like stand for a really long time and not get tired. Apparently. I don't know. I have very little horse experience. But I guess that means they sleep standing up probably. I would imagine. I also learned today that the sheep actually have like long tails and not little snubby tails. They get cut off later. Didn't know that. All right, let's try to reconstruct these muscles on this horse leg. So there's this main big muscle that's like they're kind of like a calf sort of. And then there's this muscle behind it, like that. Very cool. You got 3 horses. Were they yours, or were they like horses you took care of, or horses you? I always think I want to own a horse, but I don't know if I'd be ready to keep up with them like that. I think you'd have to have a good amount of time to just like take care of them. All right, we got that muscle. I really want goats though. Goats are like on my list. Goats are definitely on the list of when I get everything moving. I want to have goats for sure. All right, then we have this. This kind of comes down, and then the knuckle is here, like the knee knuckle is right there. And then the knee knuckle connects to this tendon looking thing. Did you guys ever actually have to take anatomy? Because the last time I took anatomy was in high school during COVID. And I'm not going to say I cheated, but I'm not going to say that I knew what I was talking about at all. Yeah, I definitely like took some liberties with that class. So I don't remember a lot of... Well, we didn't even learn animal anatomy. We only learned like human anatomy. I did learn some animal anatomy during... Or I think it might have been more insect during college, like my first year. But even that, I don't really remember any of that either. It just like went in my ear and out the other. Once I took the test and stuff, just forgot about it.
Hey,
Yep.
Jack,
Hey.
you hungry?
A little bit.
I got a leftover Chipotle bowl down here.
All right, thank you. Sorry, guys. I was blessed with food. I was blessed with some food, so I had to take a step away. Okay. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far, I think. I didn't expect to be working on the leg. Kind of thought we would skip all that for today and just work on the what's it called? Work on the back and this guy. But I still don't have a great idea of what I'm doing with his pose.
There you go, Chad.
Thank you. All right. I still don't have a great idea of what I'm doing with this pose. All right, let's see. That leg looks pretty good, I think. A little oily it looks, but as far as the back, let's just take a big brush. Um, just gonna take a big brush and kind of fill in that value really quickly. Oops. We mixed in some red there on accident.
Chad,
Yep.
when you come down, can you bring your garbage can?
All right.
Put it in this bag before we take it outside.
All right. I'm gonna stay on here for a little bit longer. Okay. I'm gonna put in the like shoulder bump, and then all of this back value. Okay. From here, I'm just gonna darken up everything else. It's kind of the same value. We'll add blue, some black. Should give us at least a good idea of like what the final product will look like. We have a lot more work to do though. But this will put us in the right direction. Okay. Do the same here, just put that down. Then we'll work on that later. So we didn't get a whole lot done today. We moved some progress on this. The leg looks pretty good. Tomorrow I'll probably work on probably just more of the horse. I'll probably finish the horse first before I go on ahead and push too much further. You know what I was thinking? What if we just did the whole background white instead of this blue value? Or we did the sky like in a white. Because I kind of like how this looks against that. What if we just did that? Let's see. Let's see what it looks like. I kind of like... It might be too much and kind of too stark, but I guess we'll just find out. We'll find out. Yeah, it is a little stark. We could do something where we have like a gradient come around the head. The head's really bright around here. And then everything else is like not so bright. We could do that. Maybe especially around him too. And then everything else, we're gonna fade it like that. So we have a gradient from like bright to not so bright, and then it helps define the outline of his head. That should be all right. That should be good. Okay. I think I'm actually gonna stop there. Thank all of you guys for watching. If you haven't already, leave a like. That's helpful. And yeah, I'm just gonna touch up this real quick and then call it a night. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later.